Hello, good afternoon. See you again in a series of lectures, of research lectures, of how to organize and how to write a research paper, a dissertation and research paper. We have already seen the format of the research paper. It is divided into preliminary, into body sections, and also into concluding or supporting sections. Alright, today we are going to see a few items about that should be taken into, that you have to take into account when writing or presenting your research paper. Alright, let's start. In order to succeed with research paper writing, what is needed is the good format or the good organization of your research paper. We mean here that your research paper, if it is well structured, if it is well organized, we believe as researchers that your research paper is or has a good format. So, according to Day, good organization is the key to good writing. So, if you write your research paper in a good way, in a good structure, it means your research paper is well organized. So what is meant by good organization, a good writing? It means simply formatting. If your research paper is well formatted, it is well organized, it is well structured, and it is also well written. In order to formatting a research paper means using a pattern of arrangement or organization. So you have, when writing or formatting your research paper, you have to organize, you have to arrange your text using a computer according to a chosen pattern. Alright, when formatting or writing a research paper, there are conventions to be taken into account. What do we mean by established conventions? We mean simply by established conventions the rules set by the research community so as to produce your research paper, dissertation or thesis according to the established norms and the rules of formatting a research paper. We have got to take into account two different items when dealing with established conventions for using formats for research paper. We have alternative and conventional. Of course, we have to stick on conventional because it is our let's say it is our purpose of talking. What is meant by alternative? Alright, alternative has to do with writing prose, with writing poems, with writing novels, short stories and stories. It looks like a kind of free writing. I mean here for example, if someone intends to write a story or short story, so there are no established rules or norms how to write the plots. There are no conventions to tell you that the plot must be in this way, not in that way. No, you are free. You are free to build up your plot. All right. Alternative means here there are no established norms for writing your literary production. Means there are no rules for showing you or guidelines telling you how to write, how to build up the plot. No. There are no rules telling you how many characters should be in the story or in the novel. No. Just to rely on your inspiration in order to build up a well-appropriate literary production. However, conventional, according to Murray, relies on producing, on drafting a research paper that is conform to accepted academic conventions as summed up by an academic journal, in order to make it easier for writing a clear, concise paper structured in a traditional manner. Well, as far as the conventional format means, the guidelines. These are guidelines for writing a research paper, whether a research paper, dissertation, thesis, or a journal article. Means how to expose the problem, the research problem, how to show the hypothesis, how to build up your methodology, where to put the page number, where to put the header, how to put the margins. All these are conventional. These established norms deal with are part of the conventional format. All right. The conventional format the conventional format is used whether in social sciences, in research papers, whether in social sciences or in humanities. In social sciences, whether in quantitative or qualitative research, both the conventional format is used. In the conventional format, whether it is in social sciences or humanities, using, let's say, a quantitative approach. So the research problem first is stated. Then the rationale of the problem is being studied. Then there is a methodology which is to be presented in order to inform the readership, your readers about. Then the findings. Sometimes the order will vary, but let's say the elements are the same. The elements are the same. We may find in the methodology 3 items, we may find only 3 items, maybe 4, maybe 5. The main elements still remain, whether the order change or not. However, in humanities, there is, since the topic is studied, the research topic is studied in, let's say, in a traditional way, or in a naturalistic way. So there is only a chronological account which is used, relying on point of views and arguments presented, which presented, and they belong to what has been said or what has been agreed by several authors. All right. The major conventional formats for writing a research paper are: we have the American Psychological Association manual. Then we have the Chicago Manual style. Then we have the Modern Language Association style, and also we have what is known as Modern Humanities Research Association. So these are the mostly recommended, let's say, conventional formats for writing a research paper, which exist in the research, in writing research. So why we as researchers and teachers and academics rely on conventional formats? We rely on the conventional formats for the following advantages, because they are advantages. Number one, it is a training ground for both researchers, professional teachers, novice researchers, students beginning in research. It's a kind of training ground, because in order to master these conventional formats, we have in order to be admitted as into the academic world, we have to prove that we really master these conventional formulas. So it looks like a training ground, because not what you produce, the version that when writing your research paper, the version that you produce, that you print, is not a final one. So you have to check, you have to read, you have to correct, you have to amend, you have to omit, and so on. So it looks like practicing once, 2 times, and more times, so as to master the rules of conventional formulas. Academic acceptance, as I have already said, without the mastery of these conventional formulas, your work won't be accepted academically. Examiners and research community won't accept if they see that your research paper is conformed to these conventional formulas. It means that your research paper, that your research work is highly accepted. It is credible to them. It is not out of conventional formulas stated by the research community. So your work, if it is conformed to conventional formulas, it will be accepted academically. And also because of the fact of globalization. What is meant by globalization? It means that all conventional formulas for writing a research paper are presented everywhere in the world, like McDonald's logo, like HP logo, like many other items. So the market for research is now globalized, because of these conventional formulas that are presented everywhere and used everywhere. So as we see, people write or format a research paper, whether in France, England, in Algeria, or in China, or in Japan, or in Russia. They know you will find on the internet, you will find research paper that is formatted through APA, MLA, or Chicago manual style. So wherever you are, you will find these conventional formulas being used. Alright, in order to format a Microsoft dissertation, you should take into account the following items. Number 1, your dissertation should be no longer than, I mean here the BA dissertation should be no longer than 60 pages, without including the appendices, references, and so on. Don't forget the margins. Also the double spacing, the font you write with. I mean the size and the type. Don't forget to number all the pages. Don't forget also the page header, which is on top of your page, and don't forget also to number tables, figures being used in your research paper. Alright, how to set the margins? The margins are 1 inch. The margins to be set are 1 inch on all sides of your research paper. In order to set the margins, alright, let's practice some of the. In order to set the margins, alright, I'm gonna open up a. Alright. Alright. In order to set the margins, we have to open up a Microsoft Word page, like that one. Then you click on page setup. Then you click on the margins, and then you have a variety of you have to choose. All right, you click on the second one, which is in French normal. We have 2.5 centimeters on all sides. I mean top, bottom, right and left. You click on that one, and then it's okay. Alright, when you start writing, when you start typewriting your research paper in Microsoft Word, the page setup or the page setup and the margins will be respected automatically. Alright, another item. Alright, so you have the margins, then we have the page numbers. Alright, you have to number your pages using Arabic numbers. Alright, this is according to, let's say, well, where to put the page number. Page number can be inserted either, as we see here. Page number can be, alright, in order to set the page number, you go into insertion. And also you go on into page numbers. Whether on top or whether on top or whether on at the bottom of the page, at the bottom, maybe right, maybe in the right, maybe in the middle, or maybe in the left. But most of the times the page number is set. The page number is set in is inserted into the middle. The bottom, at the bottom of the page, inserted in the middle, especially. But when using APA or MLA, you have to. But when using APA or MLA style, you need to insert the page number in the upper right corner, like that one, in the upper right corner. All right. We have seen how to set the page number. Title page, your title page, which contains information about the title of your research paper, the nature of your research paper, whether it is it BA dissertation or MA dissertation or thesis. Information about the author of the research paper, the researcher, and the institution, and so on. So the title page should not be numbered. It must be double spaced, and the font should not be bigger, bold, italicized, or underlined. Try to make it simple. Alright, page header. Page header means here an abbreviated title of your research paper. Why is it important? Why is it important to include the page header? Just to make sure that the contents of each page or every page is related to this short title of your research paper. Alright? How to set the title page of your research paper? It's very easy. Alright. The page header of your research paper should always be into the left corner, in the upper left corner of your research paper. Alright, you go into File, Insertion, and on top of the page, you click on top of the page, and then you click on, you typewrite the page header or the short abbreviated title of your research paper. For example, a research paper like a research paper on the following topic: the use of YouTube in FR classes. I'm not gonna typewrite all this huge title, but an abbreviated title like that one should be YouTube should not be all capitalized. YouTube and Apple classes. And then I have my page header set. Alright, you don't need to typewrite this page header on every page. No, the first page, and then it will automatically appear in all the research paper, in all the pages of your research paper. I guess it's okay for this lecture. Alright, thank you very much indeed, and see you in the next lecture.